gonna sing on the mic, yeah. To the new view, let's go. I might not be able to see you, but you can see me with your mind, baby. Even though you may have sight, you should know that I am blind, baby. So don't judge me, get to know me. Don't rush, just take it in slowly. I could do much more than you know. I can open your mind with my eyes closed. Eyes closed, mind open. Come into my world and let me change your view of me. Oh, eyes closed, mind open. Come into my world and let me change your view of me. Eyes closed, mind open. Come into.
Hello, and welcome back to Eyes Closed, Mind Open. I am your host, Hannah Kinsey. It's good to be back with you. Today with me, I have George Patterson, and he's going to tell us a little bit, or hopefully a lot of it, about his company, who he is, and what he does. It's cool. Just a couple months ago, of course, for those of you who listen, we've had a couple of other entrepreneurs who help the blind and low vision community here in Oklahoma. And George does a lot of that too. In fact, he's been really integral to getting some of our employees to and from work, as well as a few other things that he's done for them. So I'll let him share all about that and how you might be able to help him or how he might be able to help you as listeners. And so really excited to dive in today and talk about that. So with that, say hi, George.
Hi, everybody. I'm George. I guess the best thing to do would be start from the beginning on how I got to where I am now. A year ago, it's actually easy to remember because it's July 4th. Around June 20th last year, I received notice that I needed to go to a doctor's appointment in Dallas. At the time, our family was down to one car. So I said, no problem. Ev, you got a driver's license. That's my daughter. I said, we'll just rent a car. Well, turns out they don't want to rent a car to a blind man. So I tried for 2 weeks, different ways, and the one company wanted like $3,000 deposit for me to be able to rent the car and her to drive it. I was like, well, forget this. I know I got good credit. We need another car. And there's no law that says a blind man can't buy a car. You just can't rent one, apparently. So July 4th, we went and I started buying the Jeep. And while I was sitting there, I was like, I live way out here in the country. There's no Uber, no Lyft. We can't even get Walmart Spark to my house. There's a business here. I mean, there's other blind and disabled people that are probably in my position. So after I bought the car or the Jeep on July 4th, then it was about 2 or 3 weeks later, we got our LLC started with Paterson-Compton Transportation and Delivery Service. And that's how we started. I put it in Ev's name. And we were doing okay, but then I realized as I got more involved with the blind community and noticed that, there's a need for the service, but there's kind of a financial thing where a lot of people only get $800,000 a month, on disability, and they can't really afford a lot of rides. And so it was in about November, I started researching and then asking questions to y'all because to some of your other employees because we were working with your employees, taking them back and forth to work, and you were already a pretty big nonprofit. I started researching how to start a nonprofit so I could raise money so we could keep our rates down. And then in November is when I actually started the process, filing with the U.S. government and everything to get our tax exempt status. And I filed for the incorporation for Paterson, Oklahoma Disabled Transportation, Inc., which is a nonprofit that I run to raise money so we can keep our fees and everything down and keep the maintenance and everything up on the vehicles. And it's been a learning curve. I mean, I've ran businesses, and businesses are easy to run. I got to hand it to you guys. For running a nonprofit, it is not as easy as running a business.
No, it is not.
And y'all have been at it for 75 years. And really, our anniversary would be probably the 14th of this month would be 1 year that me and Ev started doing this. And then the nonprofit's anniversary would be probably February of next year.
Right.
But yeah, I've got to hand it to you guys because I've run businesses, and running a business is easy. Actually though, when I started researching, there was this I can't remember her name now, but she is a professional fundraiser. She does a lot of professional fundraising for big nonprofits. And I actually happened to meet her at something we went to. I think it was Oklahoma Council for the Blind, something. She was there, and she had done a TED Talk that I'd watched her on YouTube. And I, with me being visually impaired, I really didn't recognize her at first, but I recognized her voice because she did a hilarious TED Talk about, she went to go to one of these bigger nonprofits, and they had got a new fundraiser director in, and they had brought her in because he had been to 5 appointments where he should have been able to get big donations and didn't get anything. And they brought her in to find out what the problem was. And so she was telling me, she goes, so I said, I'm just going to go with you next time. I just want to see what your pitch is. Maybe there's something wrong with your pitch or something. She goes, so I go with this guy. She goes, this is a major charity. They need these big donations. So I'm trying to figure out what is he doing. She goes, so we get to the meeting, and we go into the meeting, and there's these 6 people here that make up their board, and they're going to decide if they're going to give these people money. And she goes, he almost made me faint. She said, the first thing out of this man's mouth was, we're not here to ask you for money. And she's like, yes, we are. You know? She goes, that's what I'm thinking. She goes, no wonder he's not closed. He's telling them that they don't need the money.
Right. Well, and I think, so going back to what you guys do, it's interesting because you feel an interesting niche, I would say, where
we have actually started different things. I mean, at first we started with just trying to get people back and forth to work, and then get their doctor's appointments, which, I mean, our doctor's appointments, we charge $25, but that's from your house to the doctor's appointment. We sit in the parking lot and wait till you're done.
Right.
We go back up into the building if you need the assistance, which we do have a couple of clients who need assistance to go up the elevators and everything. We just got a new one. John, he lives in Hera. His wife works for another major nonprofit around here. I can't remember what the name of it is, but she wasn't able to take off work all the time to help him because he was one of those that he had a stroke one night and woke up blind the next morning. That's how quick it happened to him. Now, that was 4 years ago, and he's actually been through y'all's program, and he speaks fairly highly of you guys. But she likes the fact of what we do. We came and picked him up. We took him to the doctor's office. The first time she took off work and met us there, but we got him out of the car, took him to the third floor. Ev helped him check in and made sure that there was nothing he needed to sign that she couldn't help him with. And then she came back down to the car and we waited and then took him home, and they insisted on buying us lunch because she goes, I didn't know that this is what your service did. She goes, I thought you just took him to the doctor's office, dropped him off, waited, and then took him home. I said, no, we're not more like a ride share. We're more like a personal chauffeured car service for the blind is basically what I like to say it is, because we go way above and beyond what anything Uber or Lyft would do. Mm-hmm. And we do it for way cheaper.
Yes, that's the thing. So you're in this niche position where you're kind of in between, like price-wise, like what you could get for, for those who are able to use paratransit or who are able to use like Embark Plus.
Yeah.
However, as you said, in a lot of these rural areas, that's not even available to them because they live outside.
We do the whole metro area. Mm-hmm. We've got Bill in Norman. Mm-hmm. We have Bethany. We have a client in Hera. We have one was through the state. She did the BEP program, the Business Enterprise Program, and she got in the car. And we were driving them from the hotel to the BEP program. Her name's Tammy. She did a testimonial for us on our Facebook page. She was like, man, I wished we had something down around where I live. And it was funny because I said, well, where do you live? And she goes, well, I'm living in Chandler. And I said, you're not going to believe this. I said, I live in Chandler. And she goes, really?
Yeah, it's awesome how things work out.
Yeah.
But it's cool how you're in between those price point wise. So Uber and Lyft would be more expensive. And as you said, they don't do what you do as far as service. No. Probably because I will say your daughter, she has been around you so much, she knows what to do, which is rare. Because I have gone in many Ubers and Lyfts because you just have to. That's what was available. And the people, you never know where they're going to drop you off, and they don't know how to tell you where they've dropped you off. If they've dropped you off somewhere that isn't right, they'll just drive off. They don't make sure that you're in the right place. So there's a lot of scary things that can happen when you're taking these rideshare services. So it's cool, the void that you fill, because you make sure for sure that they get to where they need to go. And if they ask for your help, then they will get it.
Yeah. So we give them much assistance as they need. Mm-hmm. We're not going to, I would say, interfere with take their independence away from them. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of blind people, they want to be independent. And I'm visually impaired. I want to be independent. I don't want somebody babying me. So we give you as much assistance or, not as much assistance as you want. And we want to, that was our goal. When somebody asked me one time, well, do y'all have a mission statement? And I was like, well, I could think of one. And then I thought of one. And it was that we want to provide safe, reliable transportation to the visually impaired and disabled to the best of our ability to restore their independence and freedom.
Yeah, that's good. But I mean, in saying that too, though, if they are going somewhere for the very first time, it's new.
Yeah, we're not just going to, we're not going to drop you off the curb. We're going to take you and figure out where you need to go. And now I've learned a lot now we haven't done it yet, but like a lot of the venues here in town, like for concerts and stuff, mm-hmm. they have a different entrance for disabled people. Yes. I did not know that. Kathy Touton was the one that told me about that when she was riding with us a couple times. Yeah. And I was like, well, I'll have to check into that because that would be something that I would like to know if we do have a client that wants to go to a basketball game or a concert or whatever.
Yeah. So yeah, I love the work that you guys do. Of course, I've ridden with you just a couple of times, and it was super helpful. I know that the people that you take to and from work at the plant.
Yeah.
It's been really helpful to them. I think about Lisa, who you've really helped, because I know. I mean, talk about. I know she doesn't mind because she shared it before.
Yeah. She was just on the news for us.
Yeah. So it's really cool because, I mean, she was working to Uber, is what I like to say. This is the phrase that I use. She was literally working to Uber. She would spend upwards of $50 to get to work so that she could work. And the reason why is she also had to get her kid to school. And so doing all of that and then having to come back home, Uber back home, and do all of that. I mean, it was so much. And she was, working to Uber. And who wants to do that? So I know that her finding you guys was really, really helpful for her because she was able to more reliably get herself to work, get her daughter to school, get food at some points. Do you still do your food?
Yeah, we do actually, we have went from there. Me and Ev did a video with Lisa and Colton where we had taken them to Walmart and done a personal shopping trip with them.
Awesome.
Where they tell us what they want, we pick the item out, or we'll tell them what's on the aisle, and these are the brand names, and this is, how many ounces is in this, and we did a personal shopping trip with them.
Yeah, that's really neat. So, are you all full now? Are you taking new?
Yeah, we have room between 8, I would say, well, actually between 7 and 2:45, we're pretty open. So we need to fill those slots. I mean, I have one of your former clients who we run her to physical therapy twice a week. And then occasionally we'll get somebody from the plant down there that needs a doctor's appointment or something done. But we need to fill those gaps so, we're not sitting around all day.
Right. I hear that. So I knew at one point you were also like making lunches for people or delivering food like that. Are y'all still doing things like that? Or
we will. I'm actually trying to find a restaurant that can handle a bunch of orders from the plant at one time. But it's kind of like trying to find somebody at 12:15 that can handle 30 to 40 extra orders.
Right.
What they already have in the dining room. So, but I'm either looking at that, or I actually have a lot of restaurant equipment. But I would have to get my health license back and everything.
Right.
And do something like that to help the plant out. But
well, I think it's really awesome. I think it's a necessity for sure. Like I said, not everybody wants or has or can take Embark Plus. I'm one of those that just chooses not to. Luckily, I'm very fortunate that I live right around the corner from this building that we're in right now, which is very, very convenient. But when I need to go to the plant to do something, I either have to schedule an Embark a week in advance, which a lot of times I don't know a week in advance if I need to be there. Or the other option is I could Uber or Lyft. Now, sometimes, before I knew about you guys, that is, sometimes, I would try to schedule an Uber in the morning to get to the plant, and it would cost me over $25 one way because of the surge times. And so, I would tell them at the plant, hey, I'm not going to pay $25 to get there. And luckily people, were free to come and pick me up, which was nice. But now that you guys have come along, it really fits. It fills in that gap to where, the people that can't or don't want to, or it's just not convenient to use the Embark Plus, they have something that they can use that is still cheaper than Uber or Lyft and will give you a bunch more help than Uber and Lyft would if you should need it. So I really think it's cool. I love what you guys are doing. I think it's important. So how can people help you?
Um, we really need donations. We're trying to get we're trying to raise the money to get a van. I wanted to get a van when we bought the Durango, but we had to have something bigger so quick. And when we went to the car lot, they told me if I wanted the van, it would take 90 days. And I'm like, well, I'm going to have people that want to ride next week. I've got to have something bigger. And we looked at, and there was two reasons that we went with I said, well, okay, fine, we'll get the van later. Two reasons that we went with the Durango. It's all-wheel drive, and we really do want to start doing more rural customers. And you get out on those dirt roads like it's been raining now.
Yes.
I mean, I wouldn't want to take a van to my house right now. With well, now it's dry, but when we had all that weather, I mean, everybody around my house has trucks, so we wanted to stay with that so we could get to the rural people, and then start raising money for a van to be able to do more people in the city and do more people from the plant or something, or just because now, I mean, it's like I told a buddy of mine. We were sitting over. I go over to the Midge Park Y in Edmond all the time. I'm actually a member over there, and we were sitting behind the Y one morning. I had Gabby, our little mascot. She rides around in the car with us, and that was a fluke. One day, the dogs were puppies, and they got really bad allergies every time we cut the lawn, and with the rain and everything, it was really bad. And they would cough and hack for a week. So I actually brought her one day, and Ev's husband took her dog and her brother and went somewhere else while they cut the lawn. So I brought her, and then the next day I didn't bring her, and everybody's like, "Where's Gabby at?" So I started bringing her, and she's kind of like a little more emotional support dog for all of our clients.
That's awesome.
But yeah, we started. That was one reason I had to go with the Durango then, because I was like, we have some rural customers, and if we don't have a 4-wheel drive vehicle, we're not going to be able to get to them. And and on top of that, they were wanting me to wait 90 days to order the van. So, but that's what we're trying to raise money for. And I mean, we have to keep our prices low. I mean, we do an oil change about every 5 to 6 weeks, because that's how many miles we can put 7,000 miles on that car in no time. I mean, driving around the city and stuff. So, and then you got the transmission has to have a change done to it. That's $350. So, and then the tires, if we had to replace a tire last month, it was $218. I mean, so it's without donations, it's really hard to keep our prices down, but I don't want to raise the prices, because then it's defeating the purpose of trying to be able to get the people that are on disability and only making $800 or $1,000 a month. They don't really have, and I don't want to go, if I'm the same price as Uber, I'm not really doing what I need to be doing. So I'm trying, our rides start at $10. And that's what we try to keep them at. And like I said, doctor's appointments are $25, but that's to and from, and we also take you to wherever you need to go while you're there. But I was telling a buddy of mine, we were talking, and he left, and he came back, and he brought me a cup of coffee. I was sitting there because it was one of the days when the car was actually full, and I even had to give up my seat. So I said, well, I'll just go over and sit and talk to my buddies over at the Y in the pavilion over there. It was, it's summertime, it was warm. And I was looking at the receipt, and he was like, "What you thinking about?" I was like, $8 for a cup of coffee? I was like, if I could get 200 people to donate one cup of coffee, just one cup of coffee, we'd be doing all right.
It's true.
Yeah. I said, people don't understand it. We're not asking for hundreds of dollars, $5, $10, $8 for that cup of coffee would really help us get to other people and help them.
It's true. They do a lot of good work. They even take some of our veterans to our vital group that we have. The season has ended for this year, but they do a lot of good work, not just for our employees, but for the clients that we serve. It's really something that is needed. We've always struggled with transportation. I mean, throughout the United States, but definitely in Oklahoma, we have struggled, especially, like I said before, in these rural areas. So it is not just something that's, oh, it's kind of nice to have, and it is a necessity. And so they are doing the Lord's work out there. So, if anyone is so inclined to help, that would be really cool. So where can people find out more about you?
Okay. I have a Facebook page for the charity called Paterson-Oklahoma Disabled Transportation. If you need a ride or want to inquire about a ride or inquire about maybe donating, we have a link to donate to our Square charity account.
Mm-hmm.
And some people ask me, why don't you do a GoFundMe? The Square charity account does not make me wait 45 days to get any donations. It's instantaneous. Just it's available as it comes in. But they can go to our About on our Paterson, Oklahoma Disabled Transportation page, and our phone number is right there. Our business phone number is right there.
All right. Well, is there
And if they would like to follow us so I can get 50 followers so I can start doing live streams on that, I'm at 44 now.
Well, there you go. It takes one more person to give a follow, and you'll be well on your way. Is there anything else you want to share before we say goodbye for the day?
I would say that $5 or $10 that you would give us to help people would really make a difference in their life. I mean, I have learned, I was legally blind, but I didn't know a lot about the blind community till last year when I really started getting involved. And there are a lot of very talented blind people that could do so much if they just had the biggest thing of being blind is transportation. You don't when you can see and you got a driver's license, you don't think of how easy it is to walk outside, jump in your car, and go wherever you needed to go. Well, when you're blind, it's an ordeal to go somewhere. Mm-hmm. I'm learning that. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm so lucky that I have Ev, but a lot of people don't have Ev. I mean, I can send her to the store or ask her to take me to the store or whatever, and she's like right on it. But if you're blind and maybe your spouse is blind, and like Jessica and her husband, they're both deaf and blind, that's an ordeal. And so that $5, $10, or $8 that you could donate would help us be able to pick up the phone when they call and say, we'll be right there, and it'll be $10. And they wouldn't have to worry about what time of day it is and how much Uber is going to charge.
That's right. You're right. It's not just a matter of convenience. It's so much more than that. It's really a matter of survival, because I do think a lot of times, not on purpose, but sighted people take for granted the fact that they can get in a car and go wherever they need to go. They can go to the store and not have to have help in the store. They can just grab what they want and they can leave. And this is more than even you guys, could do all the time. But like I ran into a situation where this week I've had to ask 2 separate people to help me get my dog to the vet and to the groomer, just because the normal people that would help me couldn't do it. It's a lot of asking for help when you're blind. It's a lot of...
Oh, that was another thing. We do take service animals. I mean, I have my dogs in the car. Why wouldn't I have a service animal in the car?
Service animals, yes, which is very good. I'm glad that you do that. My dog is just a pet. She's just...
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't care. I mean, I love dogs, animals, any kind.
So, but that's the thing, though. Every single facet of life, when you have a disability, you have to plan, and you have to have plans for your plans.
Yeah, and you have to plan way in advance in case something goes wrong with the plan.
Exactly. So it's so much harder to do those everyday tasks. So anything that can make it just a little bit easier, we very much appreciate. And like I said, Evelyn and George are making it so much better for the people around here, for the people that work at Newview, but even, beyond that, so that we can at least have a little bit of our lives back, so that we don't have to take so much more time to plan, so we don't have to worry about how much money is it going to cost me just to get to Walmart so I can get my groceries. Just different things like that. The tinier inconveniences are taken care of because of what they do. And so I'm so appreciative of them. If you are blind or low vision and are listening to our podcast, give them a call. They will take care of you. And so I really appreciate what you guys do. And I'm so glad that you came to share what you do on the podcast. So with that, I think we will say goodbye, and I hope that you will join us next time on Eyes Closed, Mind Open. See ya.